TV 23 KDGL. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV 23 Studios in Sublette, this is High Plains Today.
Hi, everybody. It is Monday, October 12th, 2015. You know what? It's Columbus Day, and good for you if you have the day off. Welcome to High Plains Today on TV 23. On today's show, we will be joined by Michael Stewart. He is a Scout executive with the Santa Fe Trail Council of the Boy Scouts of America. We're going to be talking to him about some stuff they had coming up. Now, let's take a look at some news. Students enrolled at the Stewart County Community College Area Technical School programs that aligned with third-party technical credentials more than doubled their successes over a year's time. The number of credentials earned soared to nearly 500 in 2014 after hovering below the 200 mark for nearly 5 years. Now, the college requires students whose programs feed into industry certificates to take the appropriate professional exam upon completion. Now, in the past, students often completed college coursework but chose not to take the professional exams because they had already gained gainful employment in the field through internship experiences. Voters in Hooker, Oklahoma School District will take to the polls tomorrow to decide the fate of a bond project which could see a new high school being built on the west side of that community. Back in March, voters narrowly turned down a similar project in the Texas county town, and Hooker Superintendent Dan Faulkner said the project, which will be decided tomorrow, is somewhat scaled back from the $18.5 million project to $13.5 million. Now, Faulkner also said the high school building is 105 years old and in no place is handicapped accessible or ADA compliant. Now, the March vote came in with 293 against and 230 for the bond project, and Faulkner said he believes the price was the major cause of the issue's failure. Well, the dead will walk every weekend this October at Horse Thief Reservoir. In its third year, the Wild West Zombie Paintball will run on Fridays and Saturdays during the entire month of October from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Participants of the event start by riding into a cornfield to the first of two obstacles set up for the shoot. The paintballs, called glow-in-the-dark zombie tranquilizers, are mounted on zombie hunting trailers where the participants try to take down the zombies. Now, the cost is only $20 per person. A Kismet man sustained possible injuries in a two-vehicle accident Saturday morning in Gray County. Now, according to the Kansas Highway Patrol, James Robert Miller, 29, of Cimarron, was heading southeast around 8:30 a.m. on County Road Y in a 2000 Ford SUV. Ricky Sena, 48, of Kismet, was eastbound on US 56 in a 2008 Dodge sedan. Miller failed to yield at the stop sign and struck Sena's vehicle. Now, that's according to the Kansas Highway Patrol. Miller was uninjured and Sena was taken to Western Plains Regional Hospital in Dodge City. The Kansas State Fire Marshal's Office is calling the September 27 fire that destroyed the Wendy's restaurant in Scott City an arson. According to a press release from the State Fire Marshal's Office, the fire originated in the office area and a flammable substance or liquid was used. Kansas Fire Marshal spokesman Kevin Dole said suspects have been identified, but their names are not being released as this time because he was unsure if they had been arrested or were still being sought. There were 317 vacant teaching positions in Kansas at the beginning of September, but officials from the Kansas Department of Education caution not to read too much into that number just yet. Now, this is the first stage of an in-depth study the department is conducting on teacher vacancies to determine why some districts can't fill certain positions. The department has previously administered a survey for the U.S. Department of Education on teacher demographics, which included questions on vacancies. Starting this year, it began conducting its own survey that dives deeper. And Dwight D. Eisenhower, arguably the most notable Kansan ever, joined the ranks of others who have been immortalized on the Kansas Walk of Honor outside the State House on Wednesday, as Governor Sam Brownback suggested a statue of the 34th president may one day reside on the Capitol lawn. Eisenhower, who died in 1969, is the 11th person inducted into the Walk of Honor. A plaque in the sidewalk surrounding the Capitol will bear his name. And that's just a look at some of the news that's happening out there. Stick around. After the break, we'll be back with some weather.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV 23 with host Chris Jewell. TV 23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here, 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 and here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
And there it is. There's your local weather for the High Plains. It's a nice day out there. Nary a cloud in the sky as we look off to the northeast on the TV 23 tower cam. Let's take a look at the temperatures and readings here at the station. 69 degrees. Relative humidity, 27%. We haven't seen that in quite a while. Winds are a little brisk getting north-northwest at 16. Barometric pressure on the rise. As you can see, it is very pleasant out there as we look around the region. 66 is the low out in Lamar, Garden City, Dodge City, and Elkhart. Everybody else, Liberal at 68. Everybody else into the lower 70s. Now, we haven't seen dew points this low either in quite a while. Everybody except for Dodge and Medicine Lodge and Pratt in the 30s, otherwise upper 20s. Winds are out of the north-northwest mainly, some out of the northeast. We got 16 in Liberal, 21 down in Perryton, 18 over in Guyman. Those are going to be diminishing down today, so don't worry, the winds are going to die down just a little bit. As we look at our highs and lows registered at the Garden City Regional Airport last night, yesterday, 93. Yeah, it felt like 93. Record 97 back in 1975. 49 was our overnight low. 24 back in 1948. And over the weekend, we did have 31 hundredths of rain in the bucket. Let's look at our forecast for today. It's going to be a very pleasant 75. Winds are going to be out of the north at 16. Then tonight, 45 degrees. Winds are going to still be out of the north-northwest at 7, but they're going to drop way down. So, and then tomorrow, a little more summer-like temperature rolling in, 84 degrees, lots and lots of sunshine. Winds are going to switch around to the west, southwest at 8. Tomorrow night, 49 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the west-northwest at 7, but then they're going to shift around to the north-northeast. As we look at the 7-day, we haven't seen this in quite a while. We got 7 days. There's not a speck of rain on that at all. You can see summer-like temperatures creeping in back for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, going to cool down quite a bit. Lows are going to be in the 40s and lower 50s. That's a look at the weather. Stick around. Markets are next.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm home. This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
Hi, Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs weekdays at noon right here on TV 23. We talk about news, we talk about sports, we talk about weather, we're even going to talk entertainment. We'll have live guests right here on set with me. So, every day at noon, tune in, High Plains Today. We'll see you then.
Weekdays here on TV 23.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back. I am now joined by Mr. Michael Stewart. He is the Scout Executive of the Santa Fe Trail Council of the Boy Scouts of America.
Well, thank you.
Welcome. Welcome
appreciate
today,
that.
Michael. All right. Now, you got some big doings coming up. The Santa Fe Trail Council is going to celebrate on the 1st of January their 70th year. And Spanish Peak Scout Camp, which is part of the Santa Fe Trail Council, is going to be 50 years old.
It is.
You got some stuff going on.
We do. We have lots of celebrations because we want kids to get in outdoor settings.
There you go.
To really learn leadership and learn self-reliance.
So before we get too far, and for anybody that doesn't know, now scouting, the Santa Fe Trail Council encompasses 19 counties in what we would refer to as Southwest Kansas, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you have at least one, if not more, I'm going to call them, are they troops? Packs?
Packs, troops, crews.
Yes. Okay. Crews.
Yes.
All right. In every one of those counties.
Yes.
Okay. That's kind of neat. And now, but they are all a local program, correct?
They are. They have their own leaders. They meet in either schoolhouses or they'll meet in a community room or at a church with their programs.
And you have now, and the people that run those programs are, now those are run or sponsored by your charter partners?
Yes, we have partnerships with either religious institutions, schools, or service groups, and what they provide is meeting places as well as helping us with leadership to run those programs locally.
So basically, if you're a charter partner, then the only thing that's going to cost you anything is, you were telling me earlier, is providing a place to do it and turning the lights on and off, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Other than that, there's nothing to it.
Yeah, because self-reliance is just one of the tenets of teaching kids in the Boy Scouts, and it's been that way a part of the program for about the last 100 years or so.
Okay, so now, and Boy Scouts is a giant volunteer-driven organization.
We are.
I mean, your scout leaders and the people that help with the program, they're all volunteers.
Yes, and in this area we have 646 adults who are registered as leaders. They serve everything from being a member of a troop committee, maybe be a committee chair, be a scoutmaster, a den leader assistant. Everyone has a role to play, and all that adds up to really being able to support the 1,100 young men that are actually registered in the program.
Now, and I didn't know this, but we were talking before the show. I mean, I knew you had the Cub Scouts, and you have the Boy Scouts, but you also have another branch called
Venturing.
Yeah. I did not know that.
And it's an outdoor program for boys and girls. We have female leaders that are actually a part of the program. They do a lot of backpacking, canoeing, outdoor adventures, but it's at the high school level.
Okay.
And
that's what I was going to ask you, what the ages of the adventurers were.
They are.
Okay. And the big thing with the Boy Scouts, though, is you promote, like you said, self-reliance, and you try and train those things into kids, correct?
We do.
And help them to grow in that aspect of their life.
But you know, parents also have expectations when they sign their sons up into scouting, particularly millennial moms today. I mean, they basically are concentrating on about 3 things, which are great. The 3 things they really want to know is, my son going to make a friend? Is he going to learn a life skill? And he's going to learn leadership. And of course, scouting has that within the handbooks and the materials. And there's other aspects to it, but a lot of times that's what really moms today are looking for.
And we were talking earlier, and you were telling me something really interesting as far as, you know, once a young man, and they start what, at 1st grade?
They do. We start 1st grade.
And you were telling me that one of the big things is, you know, they can leave their first meeting or they sign up. They're going to get some reading material that is really at their level.
That's correct. And you know, we call it a handbook, and we do that because we want boys to be able to hold it in their hands And this is a sample of what's called a wolf book.
Uh-huh.
And so when they joined between the 1st of August up to about December 15th or so this year, we're actually putting handbooks in the hands of these boys when they leave their joining meetings, so they can literally walk through the door and start the scouting experience right then and there. And the books are age appropriate, which means boys can not only read them to understand their program, but also read them just for the sheer enjoyment.
And they're going to learn a lot about scouting that way and what they're in for.
They will.
So, all right, now let me ask you this. From a national standpoint, now, the Boy Scouts of America, how is that funded?
Nationally, they essentially run their budgets off of the $24 annual membership fee that everyone pays, whether it's a youth or an adult, to get involved. And so that's what supports the national organization, is their fees.
$24? That's all it costs?
Yes.
24.
That's right. And they actually take their money to develop handbooks, materials. They provide some other behind-the-scenes business things for local councils to be able to offer families.
Okay. So now we got a couple of minutes left, believe it or not. That's all we got. Let's talk about Spanish Peaks Scout Camp.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about Spanish Peaks Scout Camp.
You know, the biggest thing that I've learned about Spanish Peak Scout Ranch is the expectation that people here in southwest Kansas have for that property. And we've had some events over the last several years that have really exposed those comments to me. And it's really simply this. People who have actually been to the camp know that the camp is the type of camp that's a little difficult at times. It's a challenge, but how else are you going to turn young boys into men? And there's many of a generation of southwest Kansans that have sent their sons or their brothers or cousins up to that camp over the last 50 years. We estimate that we probably have served about 53,000 boys in the last 49 years of the camp's operation. The property is owned by the council. It's about 435 acres, but it sits up at about 8,500 feet up on the east peak of the Spanish Peaks, and it puts kids in an outdoor setting to learn those things we had talked a little bit earlier about: making a friend, learning a life skill, and also learning leadership.
Well, and it's just not for Scout members of the Santa Fe Trail Council, correct?
Well, it's a property that is set aside for scouting's use. We do have some outside groups that do use it, and if there's anyone interested in that, they just contact us at the Service Center, and we can make that a reservation available.
Okay, 8,500 feet. And it's not going to be super hot in the summertime, is it?
It's not, and it has been known to snow on the opening day of camp. So,
really?
So bring your jacket.
Bring your coat. Okay. All right. Michael, thanks for coming in today.
Well, thank you.
I'll tell you what, you have anything, I know he and I were talking before the show. We could probably spend 30 minutes easy talking about Boy Scouts.
Okay.
All right. But thanks for coming by
Well, thank you.
today.
We really appreciate the opportunity to come share.
You bet. And if you get anything else, you let me know.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Stick around. I'll be back with some sports right after this.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours. In the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here. 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 And here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
And welcome back. Hey, let's take a look at some of the scores from Friday night. Now, Dodge City beat Hayes 37-3. Liberal lost to Great Bend 38-6. Garden City beat Wichita East 55-7. They are still undefeated. Scott City upset Ulysses 35-0. Holcomb over Lakin 42-13. Southwestern Heights lost at Hugoton 33-8. Cimarron beat Elkhart 52-14. Meade once again won big over Stanton County 69-0. Syracuse over Sublette 44-6. South Gray lost at Ness City 48-0. Satanta lost at Ingalls 80-56, and Deerfield lost at Moscow 54-80. And Fowler, they were beat by Rolla 70-42. And for the second straight week, the K-State Wildcats were unable to hold on to a halftime lead as second-ranked TCU rallied from 18 points down Saturday to stun the Wildcats 52-45 in the final minutes at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Now, after seeming untouchable in the first half, K-State fell victim to TCU's high-octane offense. The Wildcats fall to 3-2 on the season and 0-2 in Big 12. Play next week. This Saturday, they welcome the Oklahoma Sooners. And Dallas Keuchel remained perfect at home with 7 gutsy innings, and Chris Carter homered. He led the Houston Astros to a 4-2 win over Kansas City Royals. They take a 2-1 lead in the American League Division Series. Game 4 is on, of 5 is on as we speak right now. The Royals need to win or they're going to be done. And also yesterday, Kansas City Chiefs lost in the second half. They didn't do much better in K-State. They lost 17-18 to the Chicago Bears. The Chiefs are now 1-4 on the season. Jamal Charles out with an ACL tear. So let's take a look at your weather. It is now 70 degrees, relative humidity 23%. Winds are still out of the north. They're coming down, though, 12 miles an hour. Barometric pressure on the rise. As you can see on the 7-day, it is nice. We're going to get a few summer-like temperatures, but it's not going to be real hot. Lows in the 40s and 50s. Going to cool off towards Friday. Make it a super Monday, everybody. Call your cable operator. We'll see you tomorrow.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGLTV.
Are you tired of worrying about going over your cell phone data cap? Tired of surprise bills and text messages asking for more money? Stop the insanity. Switch to unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. Switching is easy. Come in today and see for yourself. For a limited time, get free activation, up to $200 per line bill credit, and save on the latest smartphones. See how much you can save with unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. See store for details.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.